She's sitting there with her phone full of messages. Guys asking to see her. Guys trying to impress her. Guys hoping she finally answers. And here's the part you don't want to face. Right now, you probably behave like one of them, more than you want to admit. You overthink your replies. You check if she's seen your message. You adjust how you talk so you don't mess it up. You wait for that little typing bubble, like it's a signal that you matter. That has to change. Because when your name shows up on her screen, you don't want to be just another guy hoping. You want to be the one that makes her stop scrolling for a second. Not because you said some perfect line, but because something about you feels different. Calmer, more in control, less desperate. Most men never get there. Not because they're weak, but because they were trained wrong. They were trained to believe the more effort they show, the more value they have. That if they just keep giving attention, keep trying, keep showing they care more than the next guy, that somehow she'll stay. All that does is turn you into a man who tries to earn a place in her life like you're waiting to be picked. You start living like an applicant instead of a chooser. And that attitude is exactly why you feel replaceable. Deep down, you're not hungry for love first. You're hungry for respect. You want to feel like your time matters, like your presence matters, like you're not just one more option on her screen. You're here because, on some level, you know you're acting below your real level. You know you weren't meant to build your life around whether one girl replies or not. You were meant to build yourself first and let everything else fit into that. So we're going to break this down into some hard truths. They might sting a bit. They might make you look at your own behavior and feel uncomfortable. Good, that's the whole point. Because once you actually live these, you stop chasing, and she starts paying attention in a way you're not used to. Number 1, competing for her makes you weak. Let's be honest, the moment you change your tone, your plans, your schedule, just to increase your chances with one girl, you're already losing. You stop acting like a man with a path and start acting like a man waiting for approval. A lot of men were sold this idea that women reward nonstop effort from men. That if you keep showing interest, keep proving you're serious, keep being different from the other guys, you'll win. In reality, here's what usually happens. You give more. She tests more. You chase harder. She respects you less. At first, it's small, shorter replies. Last minute changes, taking longer to answer you than she used to. You feel it, so you try harder. You explain more. You give more time. You make yourself extra available. Every time you do that, you become easier to predict, easier to read, easier to replace. You start arguing for your value instead of just living it. You talk about how loyal you are. You talk about how you would never do what other guys do. You talk about how serious you are. None of that matters if your life doesn't show it. Your life is either built around your purpose or around her attention. There is no middle ground. Your time and focus are limited. When you spend all of it trying to impress one person, you run yourself empty. You feel tired. You feel anxious. You feel like you're always waiting for a reaction. She doesn't want a man who empties himself to keep her interested. She wants a man who has a clear sense of who he is, with or without her. Ask yourself honestly, if she stopped replying today, what would actually happen to your life? Would you still hit the gym with the same intensity? Would you still wake up early? Would you still work on your goals the same way? Or would everything slow down because your mind is stuck on her? If your routine falls apart when one person pulls away, your life wasn't built right in the first place. That's not love. That's attachment built on fear. The man who refuses to compete doesn't do it because he is cold or arrogant. He simply understands this. His life has direction. His time has structure. His standards are real. He knows he can like a girl, enjoy being with her, want her in his life, and still not adjust his whole identity to keep her. And that is exactly why she feels something different around him. She can feel that he doesn't need her to feel good about himself, and that feeling is rare. Number 2, detachment is attractive in a way chasing never can be. Look at your daily habits. You wake up and instantly check your phone to see if she replied. You watch her stories. You think about what she meant by a short message. You think about double texting. That's not attraction. That's dependence. A man who is detached doesn't mean he doesn't care about anyone. It means he doesn't place his whole emotional state in one person's hands. His morning is built around his goals, not his notifications. He checks his body, his work, his plans, before he checks who texted. He still feels things, but he chooses where to put that emotion. Every time you feel the urge to check her profile, pause. Ask yourself what you're looking for. Are you looking for real connection? Or are you trying to fill a feeling of emptiness? If her attention is the only thing that calms you down, you're not into her. You're addicted to escape. And people can sense that. She feels it when you respond too fast every time. She feels it when you explain yourself too much. She feels it when you cancel things easily, just to see her. Detachment is when you're clear on your direction again. You know what you're building. You know what you need to do today. You can like someone and still not let their moods run your day. When you live like that, her reactions don't shake you as much. She takes longer to reply. You notice, sure, but your day continues. She pulls back slightly. You don't jump to fix it. You let the space exist. That's when your presence starts to feel different. Not heavy in a dramatic way, but solid. You're not cold. You're just not dependent. When she feels that, she gets curious on her own. Why is he not chasing? Why is he not overreacting? Why does he seem fine either way? You turn into a question in her mind, not because you're playing games, but because you're truly focused on something bigger than her. Most guys make the same mistake. They drop their routine the moment they feel interest from a girl. They stop pushing themselves. They stop taking care of their body properly. They stop learning, building, improving. Their whole focus becomes keeping her. And then they wonder why the attraction fades. It fades because the version of you she first noticed is gone. Detachment is when you like yourself enough to walk away from anything that makes you beg. You can care about her and still keep your standards. You can want her in your life and still choose yourself if she crosses certain lines. That kind of self-respect is rare, and people feel it more than any sweet message you could ever send. Number 3. Mystery beats constant attention. You probably know this already from your own experience. You don't remember the person who constantly chased you as much as you remember the one who was hard to read, but felt grounded and real. Most men think saying more equals connection. More messages, more calls, more compliments, more updates. But when you're always available, you become part of the background. She knows you'll answer. She knows you'll be there. She knows your patterns. Mystery isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about not giving everything away instantly. It's about keeping parts of your life and mind for people who actually earn that access. When you talk to her, you don't need to dump your entire life story on the table in one go. You don't need to constantly explain what you're doing, what you're thinking, where you are. You can show interest, listen, share, and still keep your own space. Most guys are scared of silence. They feel like if they're not always talking, she'll lose interest. So they overcompensate. They text nonstop. They try too hard to be funny or interesting. They try to fill every gap. The man who doesn't do that stands out. He listens more. He speaks when he has something real to say. He's not scared of pauses. He's fine not being understood fully right away. You don't have to be distant. You just have to stop treating her like a job interview, where you need to convince her you're worth it. There's a difference between being open and being exposed. Being open means you can share your thoughts, your feelings, your story, step by step. Being exposed means you give all of it away instantly just to feel accepted. You don't need to explain every motive. You don't need to clear up every small misunderstanding. You don't need to respond in seconds every time. When you move like that, she starts thinking about you more when you're not there than when you're right in front of her, because she still has questions, and questions create more interest than any long speech. Number 4, build a life she cannot shake. If your day is empty, of course you're going to obsess over her messages. If your schedule has no structure, of course you'll throw everything aside for one date. If you feel no sense of progress, of course you'll cling to any attention that feels good. You want someone to respect your time? Fill it with real things. When your day is full of training, work, learning, and rest, you start to feel different about yourself. You start to enjoy your own rhythm. Your time becomes more valuable to you. Then, when someone enters your life, you aren't waiting for them to give your day meaning. They're entering something that already exists. This is where a lot of guys go wrong. They think canceling their plans for her proves they care. They think always being free shows how serious they are. They think moving everything around to match her mood is the right way. All she sees is that you're willing to throw away your own structure for her. She might like the attention for a bit, but she will not feel long-term respect for you if you abandon your own path so easily. You don't need to be rude. You just need to be clear. Your training stays. Your work stays. Your goals stay. She fits into that, not replaces it. Wake up earlier. Move your body every day. Read, learn, build skills. Write your goals down and actually break them into small actions. Then do them without waiting for someone to give you permission. A lot of men are waiting to feel ready before they build. They wait for the right time, the right partner, the right mood. Meanwhile, their life stays average and any new person becomes the main event. When your life is already in motion, she has to rise to meet it. She has to respect your time. She has to decide if she can handle your pace. She will not stay long-term in a life she can fully control. She might enjoy it for a while, but deep down she wants to feel like she stepped into something built by someone with real direction. So your job is simple. Keep your rhythm. Don't drop everything because someone you like wants to talk. Don't stop what feeds your growth. Take her seriously, but don't slow down your path for her emotions. When you start doing that, you stop feeling needy. You feel full. You feel focused. And from that place, you can choose her instead of chasing her. Number 5, speak to her mind, not just her face. Most men give the same tired compliments. They focus on what they see. Her body, her outfit, her photos. That's easy. She already knows all of that. She hears it every day. She sees the likes. She sees the comments. What actually stands out is when someone notices something deeper, not in a cheesy or dramatic way, in a real way. You pay attention to how she talks, how she pauses before answering certain questions, what topics she avoids, what topics she lights up about, how she talks about people close to her, how she reacts when something vulnerable comes up. Instead of only saying she looks good, you let her know you notice her mindset, her effort, her discipline, her values. You notice how she treats people. You see the pressure she carries. You see the standard she tries to hold. This is not a trick. You can't fake this. You either actually pay attention or you don't. Most men don't really try to understand a woman's inner world. They just want her to like them. So they avoid tough questions. They avoid honest observations. They stay at surface level. When you ask better questions, you give her a chance to show you who she really is, not just how she looks. When you listen without trying to instantly fix or impress, she feels the difference. You don't have to be smooth or poetic. You just have to be present. You look for the tiny signals. Does she joke when something serious comes up? Does she pretend everything is fine when you can tell it's not? Does her confidence sound stable or like something she's still trying to believe? You don't push. You don't psychoanalyze her. You just show that you see more than the image. That's how you stop being entertainment and start being someone she actually thinks about when the room is quiet. Not because you delivered some perfect line, but because it felt like, for once, someone was actually paying attention to the person, not just the look. Number 6, your time has to feel rare. When you're always available, always online, always ready to reply, you blend in with everyone else who is doing the same thing. Scarcity here doesn't mean ignoring people on purpose or playing childish games. It means your time is filled with real priorities, so you are not constantly reachable. You don't respond instantly every single time because you're busy. Your life is moving, you're working out, you're building something. You're out living. You don't vanish to make her anxious. You vanish because you're focused. And that focus is what makes your presence feel more valuable. The guy who is always there becomes normal. The guy who is sometimes there, but always solid, becomes memorable. She notices when you're not always free. She notices when you don't chase every small moment. She notices when you don't explain yourself obsessively. You're not rude. You're not careless. You just refuse to waste time on endless texting that goes nowhere. You would rather keep doing your work than sit on your phone trying to hold her attention. When you step away calmly, without drama, without long speeches, she feels that too. Most men leave in anger. Most men send long messages, try to convince, try to argue. The man who steps back with peace shows that he values his own stability more than any one situation, and that leaves an impact. Again, it's not about pretending to be busy. It's about actually living in a way where your time is genuinely in demand from your own goals. You stop being fully accessible to every mood swing. You stop trying to manage every reaction. You become selective with where your attention goes. That's when you become the guy who crosses her mind later. Not just when she is bored, but when she is thinking about who actually seems serious about his own life. Number 7, emotional stability wins. There is something powerful about a man who doesn't get dragged around by every small shift in someone else's behavior. Most guys change instantly when a girl's tone changes. If she sounds distant, they panic. If she pulls away, they chase. If she's upset, they lose their calm and argue or beg. An emotionally grounded man feels all of that too. He is not numb. He just doesn't lose himself in it. He can hear a harsh tone and still respond like himself. He can feel distance and still keep his routine. He can notice a test and still stick to his standards. He doesn't rush to over-explain. He doesn't send message after message trying to fix everything in one night. He doesn't raise his voice just to win the argument. He knows who he is. He knows what he wants. He knows what behavior he accepts and what he doesn't. That calm makes people around him adjust because they realize he will not move just because they're emotional in the moment. A lot of tests are not conscious. People push to see what they can get away with. They raise their voice, they guilt trip, they disappear and reappear. They create drama. If you fold every time, you teach her that a small shift in her attitude can control your entire state. That doesn't feel safe. It feels unstable. Emotional control doesn't mean you never show how you feel. It means you choose how and when you show it. Sometimes you speak. Sometimes you stay quiet. Sometimes you take space. Sometimes you walk away fully. You respect your own peace more than you crave approval. You allow someone to leave if they want to. You don't try to force them to stay with pressure or fear. From that place, you become someone she can actually trust long term. Not because you agree with everything. Not because you are always soft, but because you stay consistent even when things get uncomfortable. Number 8, be an experience, not just another guy. Think about the people you remember most. It's not always the best looking or the richest. It's the ones who made you feel something different. Calmer. Stronger, more honest, more awake. Most men try to copy what they see. Same kind of dates. Same lines. Same approach. They want to look like what they think women want. But you don't stand out by copying. You stand out by being solid in who you are and how you live. You create an experience when being around you feels different from being around most people. You are not always on your phone. You are not insecure and seeking constant reassurance. You are not desperate to be liked. You are honest about what you want, what you expect, and where you're going. You stay calm when she's emotional. You stay focused when she's scattered. You stay steady when she's unsure, not because you're better than her, but because you've trained yourself to hold your ground. You don't need to plan some crazy date or spend a lot of money to do this. You just need to show up as someone who actually lives by his own standards. You listen when she talks. You ask real questions. You're not scared of silence. You're not scared to disagree respectfully. You're not scared to say no. That alone makes you different in a world where a lot of men would do anything just to not lose her. Over time, people compare without even meaning to. They meet new people and think back to how they felt around you. Did they feel calm? Did they feel challenged in a good way? Did they feel safe to drop the act? If the answer is yes, you don't disappear from their mind easily. Not because you tried to be unforgettable, but because you were real when most people were acting. So here's the main point of everything. You have probably been taught to chase, to prove yourself, to constantly show effort, to fix things fast, to be scared of losing her. That mindset is exactly what keeps you stuck. You don't earn your value by begging for someone to see it. You don't gain respect by abandoning your own goals. You don't create real attraction by being available every second and reacting to every mood. You become the man you actually want to be when you stop competing for her and start competing with your old self. Detach your worth from her replies. Keep a bit of mystery by not overexposing your life. Build a schedule and a mission that you protect. Speak to her mind and character, not only her looks. Guard your time and give it where it grows. You stay emotionally steady under pressure. Turn your whole life into something you're proud to invite someone into. You weren't born to chase anyone. You were born to build yourself, then choose who fits into that world. If you're tired of feeling disposable, stop living like you are. Set your standards. Stick to them. Let your actions show that your life has direction, with or without her. When you do that consistently, you stop asking, how do I make her stay? And you start asking a better question. Does this person even deserve a place in the life I'm building?